Russia has the largest nuclear arsenal in the world. Its ground forces are massive, and on the battlefield in Ukraine, they have demonstrated remarkable resilience. But almost all military analysts agree on one thing. In a full-scale conventional war against NATO, Russia is predicted to lose. Why? Because victory in modern warfare is determined by more than just the number of tanks or the courage of soldiers. In the next few minutes, we will unpack NATO's 6 pillars of superiority that keep this alliance an unbeatable giant in the context of conventional warfare. This is an in-depth analysis, not just a simple calculation. The first reason, and perhaps the most decisive, technological sophistication and dominance in the information domain. 21st century warfare is data warfare. NATO is not only superior, but dominates here. Imagine a giant invisible network. This network consists of thousands of sensors, reconnaissance satellites that cover every corner of the globe, strategic drones that can hover for days, and sophisticated radars on ships and AWAC aircraft. Information from all these sources is processed by artificial intelligence to create a real-time, highly detailed picture of the battlefield. Russian soldiers may be hiding in the jungle, but to NATO, they are like a high-resolution radar screen. This information superiority means NATO can see first, decide faster, and strike with deadly precision, leaving enemy forces confused and blindsided. However, advanced technology is meaningless if it cannot be mass-produced. This is where NATO's unrivaled logistical and industrial power comes into play. The war in Ukraine is a bitter reminder. Modern warfare consumes ammunition at a staggering rate. Russia is struggling with sanctions and an outdated industrial base. NATO, on the other hand, has a global industrial machine behind it. Its member nations' economies, when mobilized for war, have a production capacity that makes Russia look like a small workshop. They can produce more bullets, more missiles, more armored vehicles, and replace them more quickly. NATO's logistics are legendary. They can move an entire division and its equipment from America to Europe in a matter of days. Russia may have vast stockpiles of Soviet weapons, but NATO has factories running 24/7 to replenish its supplies. But NATO's true strength lies not in its machines or technology, but in its people and how they come together. This is solidarity and a cohesive alliance command structure. One for all for one. That's not an empty slogan, it's Article 5 of the Washington Pact. Attack one member and you take on the entire alliance. Imagine a force of 32 nations, and likely more, with harmonized training standards, doctrine, and equipment. A Polish soldier could climb into an American-made tank, refueled by Dutch logistics forces, with air support from French aircraft that direct targets based on intelligence data from German satellites. This interoperability is a nightmare for any attacker. Russia struggles with coordination between its own ground and air forces, while NATO has honed coordination between dozens of nations for decades through regular, large-scale exercises. The next pillar is the foundation of all these advantages: economic superiority and financial capability. The defense budget is a reflection of economic capability. Let's look at the brutal numbers. The combined gross domestic product of all NATO countries is more than 20 times Russia's GDP. What does it mean? When Russia has to choose between producing tanks or supplying heating to its citizens in the winter, NATO can do both with ease. They have such deep pockets that they can finance expensive, high-tech warfare over a long period of time while maintaining relative stability in their domestic economy. Western economic sanctions against Russia have already demonstrated how financial pressure can cripple a country's military-industrial capabilities in the medium term. These two closing points are interrelated. Point 5. Superior quality of personnel and training. NATO invests heavily in education, realistic training with advanced simulators, and the professionalism of its soldiers. This produces soldiers capable of independent thinking and adapting to complex battlefields. And point 6. Global geopolitical support. NATO is not a closed club. They have a strong network of strategic partners in the Asia-Pacific, the Middle East, and beyond. This support means access to logistics, intelligence, and diplomatic pressure that isolates adversaries. Russia, on the other hand, is increasingly cornered geopolitically. So, while Russia remains a serious and dangerous military threat, especially with its nuclear arsenal, in a large-scale conventional war scenario, these 6 pillars — technology, industry, alliances, economics, human resource quality, and global support — form NATO's nearly impenetrable defense wall. Predictions of NATO victory stem from a cold calculation of these factors. What are your thoughts? Are there other factors that could change this equation? Leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth geopolitical and military analysis. See you in the next video.